Good morning, Sturgis Chapel. Brother Don Pierson here, and Don Counts, and we're in the backyard of the church's office, and this is Saturday's devotion. We're going to look at two verses, and we're going to talk about judgment without mercy. Judgment without mercy. Verses 12 and 13 of chapter 2. Verses 12 and 13. So speak, and so do, as those who will be judged by the law of liberty. For judgment is without mercy to the one who has shown no mercy. Mercy triumphs over judgment. I'm in several Bible studies, and it's probably been a week or maybe 2 weeks ago or even more. And we had a discussion about the difference between grace and mercy. Do you know the difference between grace and mercy? Grace is when you get what you don't deserve. The acronym often used is God, is G-R-A-C-E, God's riches at Christ's expense. But mercy is when God holds back what we deserve. You see, these are believers. They have been blessed with an incredible amount of mercy and grace. God did not bestow His judgment of death and hell on them. God showed them favor through His Son, granted them salvation, not by any work that they had done, not because they were good people or righteous. He made them righteous by an act of faith of them trusting in what God could do in them. God showed them mercy. So God looks at them in relationship to the way that they've been treating the poor. He looks at them in relationship to how they are breaking the law of God by not loving their neighbor and treating them with honor and respect. And God says, you've received mercy. You've received mercy. You should know how to show mercy better than anyone else. But I'm going to tell you, I have found that, well, I don't know. I like to think they're Christian. Maybe they're just church people. Maybe they're just religious people. But I know I've done the same thing. Sometimes those who have been given the most mercy really, really fail at showing mercy. There's a passage over in the Sermon on the Mount, Matthew chapter 7, verse 2, and that's early in the ministry of Jesus, and He's not talking to believers. He's actually talking to the Jews, and there are some that are going to believe, but he gives a word there. He says, "For with what judgment you judge, you will be judged. And with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you." You know, there's so much teaching in the New Testament, so many parables where our God says to us, if there's any people on this whole earth that have been given much, it's my children. And those that I've given much, I expect them to give much to others. You know, it's easy to pull something out of our wallet and give it to somebody. It's easy maybe to go do a chore or a job or a task for somebody. But it's most often hard to grant forgiveness to someone. But it should be easy for those who have been forgiven. For those who have been forgiven an incredible debt should be able to grant forgiveness over a penny. Mercy. Judgment without mercy. You almost think that they must have been some pretty wicked Christians. I think they were just forgetful, just like you and I. You show mercy today because you've been given much of it. Love you, Stewart's Chapel.